I am the director, co-writer, editor, and I also play a character in the film. The early stages of the script came about where I was seeing students that I'd taught in the past sort of out on the street, just kind of getting caught in these negative cycles, lose track of their dreams. So that was the sort of premise of the story. It was about 3 boys just out of high school, sort of getting caught in these toxic cycles and not really having the right role model to sort of help guide them through that. So then it became a story about how youth deal with hate and how they deal with blame. Carl took the script for about 3 months after I sort of wrote a vomit script. And the vomit script was based on, it was a mixture between fiction and stories that I'd heard in the neighbourhood about tragedies that have occurred, through basic misunderstanding. It's got some history to it in the Perth Hills, where I live actually. So I thought it very fitting to sort of write a story on the doorstep of my house. And so yeah, we kind of just really dived into it extremely quickly. And it was kind of a mixture between stubbornness and motivation, tenacity and stupidity really, because we didn't really have any secure funding. We had about $15,000 to just shoot half the film. And we didn't have any funding for the next half, so it was kind of scary. We just had this belief that it was going to work out. We just kept going with it. Astonishing to say this, but it was a crew of 7 people who put this film together. A skeleton crew of perfectionists, of people who I've worked with for many years, so we sort of understand each other, and people who would just stop at nothing to see this story come to life. So it was a blessing really. I couldn't have done it without my team, and we are fortunate enough that we just stuck together with a strong script and a script that everybody's believed in, and we got it done in the end. It's been a 3-year project. The scripting actually didn't take as long as what it normally would. It probably took about 4 months for that, and then we started production in September of 2018. And that went on for a couple of months. Well, we shot half the film, got some funding from somewhere and shot the second half. And then it was editing. The editing went on for over a year, just refining. And that was another whole gamble experience in itself. We didn't have much funding at that time. I quit my job teaching at that time, so I took a year off and I took on the role as editor. And I haven't edited a feature film before, so it was quite challenging. I made some sacrifices. I put my mortgage up on, I applied for hardships. I sold my beautiful grand piano, almost new grand piano, which was the love of my life at the time. And I proceeded to edit the film in the bedroom of my house, which I don't recommend, actually. But it sort of served me at the time, because I knew that for this film to be finished and to be completed in the way that I saw it, I needed to be very close to it. Sometimes I was too close, but I knew that, I wanted to have my computer right next to the bed, so that if I had this alarming, crazy idea at 3 a.m, I could jump out of my bed and be right there. And this was a process that just went on, and it was grueling, There's lots of things I could say about it, but I'm very grateful to have Carl. Carl was kind of like my personal psychologist who would sort of get me through many of the hardships, because it was a grueling battle. I was driving this thing, and you didn't know when the next bit of funding was coming from. I didn't even know if anyone was going to resonate with this film, if anyone was going to like the film. And there were times when I would ask myself, why am I doing this? And then another thought would kick into your head, and that was, what if you don't give 150%, and you're always wondering what would have happened if you did, how would the film have turned out? And that was the thought that kept me going.